Thanks for stopping by Minnesota Black Robe Regiment. I am actually really excited. I have a Marine on with me, a former Marine. He corrected me before. I'm sitting here with Brandon and Carla. They are married partners in a coffee company called Indies Coffee. What a Marine knows about coffee, I don't know, but we're going to find out. He told me a story beforehand, but nobody wants to hear that about what he used to do with his coffee, and I'll just let you guys figure it out on your own. So, Brandon, we met through Twitter on your Indies Coffee Twitter feed, and paratrooper vet, kind of somewhat local to me, still a few hours away. I had mentioned something about coffee, and he said I should reach out to you because you're the coffee guru.
Yeah.
So how in the world does a Marine, a paratrooper Marine, go from being a paratrooper Marine who's been all over the world, doing all sorts of clandestine things, end up, well, one, married to, well, you definitely married up.
Oh, I'm married up. I ain't going to deny that. I'm married up.
Yeah. End up marrying up and making coffee for a living. How does that even happen?
Well, I mean, the obviously, like, you go back to the Marine Corps side, Marines in general are a different breed, and most, even the other branches will tell you that. You know, it's like we have crazy discipline. We've definitely got a esprit de corps, and you can't tell a Marine we can't do something. Like, we'll do it twice to prove you wrong. So, I started off, I was in a reconnaissance unit and stuff, and when, like, so paratrooper vet, they started was talking. This all started with him because you know how the Army and Marine Corps bash each other. So it's like
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah. So I just bashing back and forth and stuff like that, and he's like, "Okay, I gotta try your coffee, man." He goes, "This guy talks so much shit on me," So he ended up trying the coffee, but yeah, and I did my jump and stuff out of Benning. So Marines don't really care, like, call them like airborne Marines, but I'm definitely a jumper. It's part of my billet. I get paid jump pay and stuff. But in my position, I got to travel the world. In fact, I've been, I don't even know, but close to 30 countries. And most of them third world. So I've got to spend a lot of time in places where you get very humbling experience. You get a very big appreciation of where you come from. You get a lot of culture, and you become very understanding of other cultures.
Yeah.
But I've two things I had. I think we told you before, is that I got to drink a lot of good beer, and I got to have really good coffee, because it's like whenever you go to these different places, they have different ways that they make it. So you're not getting that crap Starbucks stuff. I mean, it's like they're actually making good coffee in the way they brew it in little small cups and everything. It's just really good. But the one thing I always noticed when it came to coffee, it didn't matter what's your theocratic background, your religious background, your political background. It didn't matter. Didn't care about race, none of that kind of stuff. It's the great come together. Everybody literally can sit down and have a cup of coffee in peace and just talk about some things, which we could honestly use a lot of these days.
Oh yeah.
So it's just like, so fast forward a little bit. Okay. I got out, contract work a little bit, stuff like that, but I went back to college, and I finished my school up, and actually graduated in film media studies. So this is where NDs came from, because I worked out in Hollywood for years. I did developments. I worked at the Creative Arts Agency, which is the biggest agency in the world. If you want Bruce Willis, you got to go through us, type thing. And then I produced a show for CBS for 2 seasons, and then did motion picture development for Morgan Creek and Landscape Entertainment. So, but the one thing I always noticed is that, okay, I was very lucky. I'm not even saying I'm smarter. I'm not saying any of that kind of stuff. I'm just saying I was very lucky. Okay, I happened to be at the right place, at the right time, talking to the right people, and I ended up very high in Hollywood. Okay, but there are people who have good projects that do not know how to navigate the system, and I always wanted to create a company that could help discover new visions and voices. That was the whole thing, because everybody's tired of the current Hollywood. They're tired of the crap they're putting out, the rehashes, their political stuff. They're just tired of it. So I wanted to find these new people telling new stories, new ways to tell stories, and give them that opportunity to be able to get out there. So I merged the thing of the great come together of coffee with entertainment, and that's how we came up with Indy's Coffee. But,
so Carla, how did a Marine, like, I'm picturing like he just like walked into some place one day and like picked you up and walked away with you, like.
Well, I mean, years ago, I wanted a motorcycle, and he used to work at this shop, and he was walking out to have lunch, and I was walking in, and he's like, "Oh, can I help you?" And I'm like, "Sure." We're just talking.
All of a sudden, lunch was not important.
Exactly. He forgot he was hungry. So we were just talking, and then he just basically, I say, stalked me to my old job at a bank like a week later. And I was like, "Oh, it's you." But anyways, he won me over, so of course I'm here.
And so here you sit, like now, was that out in Cali?
No, that's back here in Texas.
Back,
yeah, I actually came back. My brother wasn't doing well, so I came back to help family out and stuff like that. And when I did that, I know motorcycles real well. Like I build bikes and stuff like that. So one of my friends owns a motorcycle dealership. So I went and worked at this dealership while I was here. And then while I was doing that, to be back here, ended up meeting my future wife and having a kid. So I just never went back out to California.
And I never went back to where I'm from. I'm from Puerto Rico. So
yeah.
I've been
no. That explains it. You're like one of the few people who just naturally has the kind of temperament to control a Marine.
Yeah, probably.
We understand each other. We both understand
How often do you cuss him out in your native language?
It happens. I mean, not as much anymore, but
does he know he's in trouble when you're just like walking through the kitchen and you're just?
He knows. But he doesn't get in trouble that much, believe it or not.
I know I'm in trouble when she's not talking.
Yeah, I get quiet because I think if I talk when I'm upset, I'm gonna say the wrong thing.
You're gonna say something you shouldn't, right?
Yeah,
I get that. So, at what point did you two decide? Hey, well, I've worked at a bank. I've built motorcycles. We're married. We have a child, and I had a pretty high rate or a big career in Hollywood. Let's make coffee. How does that? I mean, I get the great come together, and I get the indie aspect, but that's still a leap because, as you know, you look at everybody has they always picture themselves as being, I'm going to be the next big thing. I'm going to be, I hate to bring it to Starbucks.
I don't look at that. Yeah.
And he's actually mentioned in the past about he's able to go back if he wanted, but it's just not the lifestyle for a family to grow with the values that we want to install, or it's just he'd be working. I mean, he already works a lot though, but it was just not something we wanted to do to go to California.
Hollywood
is very high stress.
Very, very high stress. It's very high stress. It's there's a lot of egos and stuff. So, but
so the Marine points out that there's a lot of egos.
Dude, okay.
When the Marine notices there's a lot of egos, there's a lot of ego.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We don't have egos. We just know we're the best. It's the thing is though, when I say the stress, it's you have to pick your words very carefully when you say stuff. If you say the wrong thing to the wrong person, you can cost millions of dollars. I mean, it's that kind of stress, and and you're having to deal with different types of egos and temperaments. I always tell people this story. When I was at CAA, it's literally the biggest talent agency in the world, and I was being trained to be an agent there, and then I had an opportunity to come to go produce a show at CBS, and I was jumping to go do that because I really didn't want to be an agent. Okay, I just don't. I'd be good at it, but I don't like those people that much. So it's they pulled me aside. What's that?
I love the honesty. I'm serious.
Oh no, that's that actually goes right into what I'm about to say. So I remember it was Michael Camacho pulled me aside and he goes, well, why don't you want to be an agent? He goes, you'd be really good at this. You're very disarming, because here in the South, we're, if you go, we still call the North Yankees. Okay. But if you deal with like a Yankee up North, they're very much like boom, boom, boom in your face. What you can do for me? They're in your bubble. It's very straight to the point business. Where in the South, we're a little more, no, how you doing? How's your day going? We do more of a communication relationship type thing. And that worked really good for them because as I would do that, they would sweep in and hit them with the numbers type thing. So, so Michael, he goes, so why don't you want to be an agent? I go, well, I'm too honest. He goes, what do you mean? I go, if I don't like you, I'll tell you I don't like you. He goes, yeah, that don't work. That's just like, it was okay. And I'm going to put this the easiest way I can. Once you've been shot at, there is nothing anybody on the planet can say that you're better than me. You know what I'm saying? It's like you put your pants on the same way I do. So it's like, so if you want to come over here and you want to have your ego stroke, you're coming to the wrong guy.
Yep.
Okay. I'm not a guy that, it's like, I will give credit where credit's due. I'm not your person to sit there, oh, that was so awesome. I just, that's not me.
Yep.
Okay. I'm very much about, in fact, this goes back to your original thing with how we get in the coffee stuff. I am very mission driven. Still today, I'm very mission driven. It's like when I set my goals on something, like getting my wife, I get what I go after.
He was very persistent.
Yeah, it's like I don't fail. I don't believe in failure. I go, failure is a term used by quitters. Successful people is just a lesson. Okay, I tell people that all the time. Don't ever use the word can't with me, and I don't believe in failure. So it's I use the dynamics of the military and that the person the Marine Corps built to I zero in. I know exactly what I have to do to accomplish the goal. Okay, now your goal is the ultimate thing you have at the end. It's a ladder. Okay, and from between you and the top of that ladder, you have steps, you have rungs. Okay, if you can organize it and you can break down, this goes for anybody. Okay, if you can organize it and you can break it down to individual steps of what it is to get to that end goal, and you just every day accomplish one step, just accomplish one step. If you do two, great, but don't go a day without accomplishing a step. You will eventually reach your goal. Okay. Also, it's not funny with Marine saying this. Take ego out of it. Don't do it so that you can be the man. Right. Don't do it to say we're gonna be the best one ever. No, just do what you do it right. And like for us at Indies, we're always trying to make, whether our customer service or our coffee, you have a hard time deciding which one's better. Okay. It's where it's like you have to like really try to weigh that and just go, man, it's just the coffee's great, but man, the customer service is awesome. You should be doing that every day and let it naturally grow. Okay. It's like we started doing the roasting aspect about 2 years ago, about 2 years ago. And it started off kind of slow. I just went and man, I didn't know a damn thing about roasting. I didn't know a damn thing about it. But I just sit there, I researched it. I bought beans, I trial and error. I did it until I figured it out, because you were not going to beat me. Okay.
I the first batch.
Yeah, I did. I burned the first batch bad.
Lesson learned.
Yeah. Lesson learned. Burned it bad, so, but it's like, you always be improving, always be learning. And it's like, and don't ever, I don't care what somebody's goal is. It's like, this is your life, man. Okay. This is your life. You have your goals. Don't let somebody else impede on your goals. Figure it out and make that step every day towards your goal. This is your personal journey. Okay. In the end, we're all equal. We are all fertilizer in the end. Okay. What you did with that time between now and then is yours. Okay. Right. It's like, I don't care. Like people get all this tied up, and I'm probably going to irritate people on Twitter, but people get so tied up into what others believe. If somebody's offended by something, whatever, what that person over in California believes, I don't give two shits. Okay. Why? Because it doesn't personally affect my circle. I can't control everybody. I don't want to control everybody. What I can control is what's in my immediate circle. I can control what is by me. I can keep positive influences by me. If you're negative, I will ditch you. I don't want anybody negative. If you're not uplifting me, if you're not supporting me, or giving me some type of a positive vibe in any way, then I don't need you in my sphere. I don't need you there. Okay, it's like you're nothing but a detractor to my life. So,
it's funny that you say that because I sent you that short little video that I did by the dam, and I was thinking about you and some other people that I know when I told you I did that little anonymous shout out in the video to you because of the entrepreneurial spirit. And I think about what you're saying in comparison to the average just mediocre American today, and I know that's horrible, but I'm kind of like you. I'm a straight shooter. I don't really hold back much. And you look at that American individualistic, rugged spirit that drove people away from the East Coast and out into the, like, nobody thinks of Minnesota as a wilderness now, but years ago it was wilderness. It was, and you drive around enough, you'll realize how much wilderness is still here.
Yeah.
But like people that we know today that don't have that kind of mentality that you and Carla have, we're going to make this work, and it's a team. And I don't care about the person who's 400 miles away or 4,000 miles away. We're going to do this. Those people today who don't think that way would have never been able to settle this country. They would have never been able to settle this country because they would have just like, oh, I don't have enough approval. I'm not getting enough support from somebody else. So it's just, I can't. That, you know, what you said.
A lot of this social media has really done a big portion on that, where it's been getting worse, where people need to have well, it started with MTV with instant gratification stuff, but it's
the microwave generation.
What's that?
The microwave generation.
Yeah, you know, so that's exactly right. It's like they want to have it immediate glorification. I don't want to spend any time on this, to where even our movie used to be 3 hours long. Yeah, hell, Sound and Music, which I had her watch, has an intermission. Okay, it was so long. Well, now it's like, you know, people want to watch these mini episodes on freaking YouTube.
Oh, I get it all. I get it all the time. Man, your videos are so long. How do you expect me to watch it? And I'm like, well, you sit down and you click play. That's that.
I'll tell you that in that, I had no problem watching your video. You know what I'm saying? I was intrigued from the beginning to the end when I was listening to you talk. Whenever I used to do some development, we get scripts and I read through a script. I'll see people out there talk about, you know, oh, this had bad punctuation, or this had misspelled words, or the format was bad, or whatever. I don't care about that stuff. The only time I care about if there's too much of it, it just tells me that you didn't take time to proofread your stuff. But I'm not paying attention to, oh, hey, it didn't have a comma where a comma should have went. Okay. If somebody's doing that, your story's not good enough. Okay. Right. It's like,
exactly.
Yeah. If you have a podcast or whatever where you can talk, it's like, dude, these radio show hosts talk for 3 hours and people sit there and just listen in. Okay. If you can talk, the only time I'm going to think about how long something is if you've lost my attention with something. But it's like, length of time doesn't matter to me. I mean, there's still 24 hours in a day and you're not changing it, you know, so.
Right. So you guys said, we're going to go do our own thing. We're going to burn our first batch of roast.
Yeah. I'll burn it bad too.
Who ended up drinking that?
Oh no, we went right in the trash.
Well, all right.
You went right in the trash. You got to try it first, but then we went to the trash.
Okay, well, yeah, sorry. That's how I knew how bad it was. Yeah, so we did try it. It's like, it was
So you decide you're going to go burn your first batch.
Yeah.
Trial and error, right? No failures, just proving grounds. Somewhat of a pun intended there.
Yeah.
So next thing you know, you're what did you say, 12 countries?
We're in 26 states, Canada, Puerto Rico, and London.
Ah, there you go. So
yeah.
So basically Great Britain, because anything that gets into London,
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. It's just so it's the size of like Rhode Island. It's not like it's going to take long.
Yeah. It's there's different things that cause that. Okay. It's I could take full credit, say it's 100% my doing. Okay. But it's what I'm saying. I made the moves that created that. Okay. It's, for starters, like having to do marketing. Okay. It's like, nobody will know you exist if you don't market.
And also taking risks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because we've had to put a lot of our time and money also, you know.
Oh, yeah. No,
it's one of those things like, do we risk it? Do we put this amount? Do we not? You know. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. No, it is like that. It's when you go into something and you give it all. You give it all. This isn't a hobby. Okay. Right. If it's a hobby, quit. Okay. I was telling you before this, so I'm on 2.5 hours sleep right now. Okay. And I did that. Why? Because we had an order come in and we had to fill. Okay, they had to go out today. Okay, and it was a big freaking order. Okay, it's for a business. Okay, it's so I stayed up. What was I? I was roasting till like 3 in the morning. I was roasting till 3:30 in the morning, and it's and then finally come home, take a shower, and crash out, and I'll wake up 2.5 hours later. So still without a damn alarm clock. I'll never figure that one out. I just wake up.
Let me ask that. Yeah. Let me ask from this perspective. So Carla and Brandon, you're making coffee, you're making roasts, you're making blends. You've got 26 states, several, Canada, Great Britain, Puerto Rico. You've got all these locations. You've got customers. How many people do you guys employ?
Oh, right now probably like 4 total.
Right.
Yeah. It's not a lot. I need more. Yeah. But here's the thing. Okay, it's without getting into too much stuff. We're about to probably close a pretty big deal where we're gonna in 2 months that we're gonna have to majorly expand. Okay, gonna have to make. It's not. It's a big expansion. So I'm kind of in the limbo stage, which in business you have to learn to manage things. I have to learn to manage. Time versus employment versus everything. Yeah.
Right.
And it's so we're kind of waiting to see what happens with this, because if this goes through, I have to build a huge facility. Okay. So if it doesn't, we're still opening another one. So, but just not as big.
So let me ask this, and you guys know this. Several years ago we had a president that said, "Oh, if you have a successful business, you didn't build that."
Yeah.
Right. So here you are. It's the two of you. You do, obviously. Carla, I don't know, how much are you involved day to day?
I'm pretty involved.
She's pretty involved.
Whatever's needed. I'm not being nitpicky. Like, I'm not gonna do this. Whatever is needed to be done.
Right.
I'm gonna sit there and do it and help out as much as I can.
So it's you 2 plus 4 employees.
Well, no, it's us 2 plus 2.
Yeah. So we're also doing the work.
Yeah. Okay. I want people to understand this, because this is that entrepreneurial spirit. Mm-hmm. Everybody has this idea that successful businesses are all, these big wig, multi-millionaire, they just go around
and we go on vacations all the time, and we
here's something. And then you're not really doing anything for anybody, because you're not working that hard, and everybody else is making money for you. And this is the bread and butter of the United States right here, is small businesses. Yeah. And granted, it probably doesn't feel small to you, but you compare yourself to another coffee company, and you fight for every inch of the market that you get.
And if you stop fighting, you will lose, because the other things will take you over.
Right. And the 2 people that are working for you are getting paid because you're all working together.
Right. Yeah.
That's entrepreneurialism. That's what this is about.
The thing is too is it's you need. I was telling when we first met. Okay, in case you didn't know, I'm white. But when we first met, it's
I had no
clue. I know.
You look kind of lobstery from here.
Yeah, no, yeah, pretty much. It's red light we have here. Yeah, he has to change it. Yeah, but no, it's I don't know. It's like the red on the camera. So she's not for our podcast. It doesn't look like this. So I don't know if it's something with the deal, but anyway, I have a friend, Chris. Okay, well, they're very well off. Okay, like insanely well off. But I call him the Prince of Concrete because his grandfather invented the mobile cement turner. Okay, so it's insane. Well, at first, she used to always say, "Well, but Chris has it easy. They already have all this money."
Sorry, Chris.
No, yeah, no. But but they say has all this money. I go, yeah, but Vince paid. Vince was broke. You know what I'm saying? Okay, at some point, somebody paid their dues. Okay, in fact, if you've been watching the History Channel, they talk about the businesses that made America, things like that.
Right.
How many of them almost went under? How many of them risked everything to do stuff? It's I'm building this company not for me for personal growth or anything like that. I'm building so my son doesn't have to go through this crap. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's the whole thing. Is like I know how difficult it is, but the harder I work right now is less he has to do later. I mean, I'll still make him earn stuff, but I'm just saying it's like he shouldn't have to go through a lot of the crap that I did to have to get to. Yeah, exactly. It's like it's my job as a parent to make sure that's exactly, Right. So it's people that there are, I'm going to be probably really offensive. She's like, oh God. Okay. There are people who will always be sheep. Okay. There are people who will always take the easy way out. Okay. You have to be the person that's willing to do everything it takes to get your dreams accomplished. Okay. If you're somebody, okay, whenever I was, team, stuff like that, when we go on runs, dude, I go through like 4 stitches. Okay. I'm not even a long distance runner. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, we'd run till we basically black out.
Yep.
Okay. Because the stuff that you can make your body do, you have no idea. I mean, they put you, like when you get in dive school, they put you through shallow water blackout twice. They drown you twice, So it's, you can do more than what you think you can. It's just greatness in life does not come from the easy way. Okay.
Right.
A successful business will always be the person that wanted it more than you did.
Right.
Okay. So it's like, you have to be that person that's going to be the one that wants it more than the next person. If you're not, if you said, I'll get to it tomorrow, or one day I'm going to do this or this, one day never comes. Okay. I always tell everybody, I go, don't live in the past because you can't change a damn thing of it. Okay. It's like mistakes are lessons. Okay. Unless you keep making the damn mistake over and over again. Don't think about the future so much because now you're daydreaming. You're wasting time. If you focus on right now, this moment you're breathing, and you accomplish this moment, the future takes care of itself. And more people sit around daydreaming about wanting to have, oh my God, if I was to do this and do this, I would have this. While you're talking about it, you just wasted 5 minutes. It's like, go do it.
So, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you. Like, I told you about my website and the Patriot business owners page on my website, because I like to, like somebody goes, oh, you're trying to get sponsors. And I'm like, that's not, no, I want to promote patriotic small business owners who stand up for American values, who support the military, who support the rank and file in law enforcement and things like that. And one of the things that you had said to me when we talked on the phone Tuesday was, one of the things that you have done with your company has been some charity work. Yeah. And some of that centering around vets. And that really stood out to me because, like, as we know, like 22 vets a day take their life.
Yeah.
And everybody gets, oh, well, we hear it all the time. Oh, why are they so weak? Why is that? I'm like, people do not understand it's different in the military veteran. What leads to that,
right,
and leads to that decision is different than a lot of the civilian population would ever understand. And your heart for these people who have, there again, I don't care what side of the political spectrum you're on, whether you've been for every one of the military engagements that's happened in the United States since World War II or not. These people are going out and serving, and they believe in their heart they're serving their nation, and they are. And we have failed them. We failed to provide for them. We've failed to support them. And so the fact that you're doing a lot of these different charity things really is compelling to me. And it says, like, here's this individual who has scrapped for everything that he has, and he's giving back. Tell me about some of your charity work and how it's working, not for you, but how it's working for them and what it looks like.
Yeah, the thing with when you go back to like PTSD and vets losing 22 a day and stuff, okay, she'll tell you I'm not an empathetic person. Okay, if you're looking for somebody to cry to, oh, you're coming to the wrong guy. I really just don't give a shit. But when it comes to my vets or it comes to my kids, okay, those two things, dude, pull my heartstrings. Okay, civilians will never understand what vets are going through because they've never been there. Okay, you can't go and watch a war movie on TV and think that that's how it feels. Okay, it's you can't think of the mental combat fatigue you go through, constantly looking around, expecting there to be some IED on the side of the road going to blow up. Okay, when your mind just doesn't shut down, and now we're leaving those guys over for like a year. I mean, that's just like it's taking a toll mentally. Now, we've partnered with 4 charities. Okay, so we're partnering with, and I'm constantly looking to do more. Okay, because I just, it's the way we do it is we don't say, hey, buy our coffee and we'll give a portion of it to these charities. I don't believe in that, because if you start lumping everything together, let's just say, like I said, I don't care what political spectrum you're in. Let's say you get somebody who just doesn't care about the veteran causes, okay, but they like kids, okay. Well, now they can come, and I'm not going to alienate your business. Your money's just as good to help these causes, okay. I don't want to not get your money to help a cause because you didn't agree with this cause. Right. So we're partnered with the Being Angel Foundation's Dan Pastorini's company, where it helps kids that need hearing aids, wheelchairs, things that they're underprivileged and stuff, but they can't afford these things to give them. Yeah, and disabilities too. So it's that they can't. It's to help them learn, to help them have a better quality of life. Okay, so yeah, but she's right. Has kids with disabilities and stuff as well, that usually from the poorer side. So like the families can't afford.
If some child cannot afford, for example, the hearing aids, stuff like that. That's what they help with.
Yeah.
As well.
So it's like so we have this one called Secret of Happiness. So when you buy that bag, okay, it's like all the profits go to that charity. Okay,
that's coming off of your shelf.
That's coming off my shelf. It's just it's like you can go straight to our site at indiescoffee.com. You can order it right off there. It gets roasted, sent to you, and here's the thing too. I'm mailing it to you, and I'm still giving them all the profits of the coffee. So part of my charity is I'm eating the shipping.
And we're not really making
we're not
there, because that's the point.
Yeah, it's
so
I'm not here to profit off.
This is where I'm going to pause you for a second.
Yeah.
Okay, and not because you're doing anything wrong. For the people who watch my channel, this is why we are the way we are. Anybody who's watching this channel outside of the people who watch it because they just want to be mad at the things I say, this is people who watch my channel, all tens and tens of you. You're watched because you think like this. This is why you watch, because you're the person who sees the person at the cash register who thought they had enough cash to buy their groceries, and they're standing there embarrassed. Mm-hmm. And you step up, and instead of getting mad and rolling your eyes, you just say, hey, I'll get this for you. Like this is what Brandon and Carla are doing, is what makes, and this is going to alienate somebody. So if you don't like this part, this is what makes a difference between an American patriot and the people who stand there with their hands out expecting that somebody's supposed to come along and take care of them. And that's the difference. Like, this is an American patriot, folks. Brandon and Carla are patriots. In their business, indies, even though they go out of their way in a positive way to not like exclude anybody, there's still a spine and a rugged individualism behind their business that makes them do what they do. And that's something a lot of these other companies and the big corporations are never going to understand. They're never going to understand that, because sure, their business is successful compared to others, but it's not Folgers as far as its size is, and I haven't even had a chance to taste the coffee yet, and I can already tell you it's better than Folgers, because I don't like Folgers. But this is what I'm getting at, in that this is what a certain segment of our society doesn't understand. If you strip us of what makes us a great republic and strip us of our individualism, and you force everybody into these collective groups of, oh, well, what's a Puerto Rican doing married to a white guy? That's just, you can't have that. And, you can't be an independent minority, or you can't be a self-starting, self-thinking person. You need to be dependent on the government. Like, we'll give you some kickback, or we're going to, invest in your business. Like, first of all, government can't invest in anything. But this kind of thing doesn't happen Folgers and other companies and Anheuser-Busch, they don't, sure, they might give millions and millions of dollars away as a tax write-off somehow, but they're not doing it in a way where it's literally, they're doing it because they feel it. And that's the difference between the average individualistic, patriotic American and the people who think that the best way to help is to give people a handout. And so thank you for opening that window for me, because I need people to hear that.
Yeah,
I need people to hear that.
Like I'm somebody that's I will always be willing to give a hand up. You know what I'm saying? Not a handout. Okay, right. It's like if there's people who can come to some really tough times sometimes. I'm not denying that.
Right.
But if you're somebody who's going to sit back and wait for somebody to save you, then okay, the weak gazelle gets 8. This is where I'm sound kind of horrible. The weak gazelle gets 8. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to sound so horrible, but it's people need to learn to be able to pick themselves up by their bootstraps. Okay, and it's like we are not doing anything that you couldn't do. Okay, I mean it's just the God honest truth. It takes work, it takes effort. It's like we've had ups, we've had downs, we've had some really bad downs. Okay, but through the hard perseverance of not accepting failure, okay, it's like we've turned it around. Okay, it's just people really need to start becoming more responsible, self-responsible. Yeah, self-sufficient, but just more responsible for their own actions and quit looking at others to save you. Figure out what it is you want to do. Don't try to copy somebody. Okay, I'm just saying that because it's like, oh, I'm going to go do, like we got confronted with a business opportunity today, and their first thing was, well, we're just going to be bigger than Starbucks. Well, baby steps, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let's just start with what's your concept. Well, they really didn't have a concept. They just want to be better than Starbucks, bigger than Starbucks. So don't try to copy what's already been done. Find a niche and improve on it. Okay, and then focus on that niche. Okay, Matt and Evan do Black Rifle. Okay, well there's the whole Second Amendment conservative thing. I've talked to Evan. It's like I'm not going to sit there and go and like, oh, I'm going to do another conservative thing. No, yeah, we're conservative. I'm a veteran, but I'm not trying to ride your pony. It's like our thing is I want to help discover new visions and voices. Ours is a entertainment art type background a little bit, but it's still just better coffee. But it's
I'm not digging, but it's better coffee.
Yeah.
But it's see, and that's the thing is like.
Actually, I'll tell you real quick too. I even told you on the phone that I still believe in supporting vets. Okay, I have no in fact, whenever Patriot vet. When he talked about it, I thought you were trying to start a coffee company. I didn't know this is what this was. And I said, sure, have him call me. I was going to help you start a coffee company. That's literally how much I'm going to. I misunderstood.
He thought, oh, there's a person who wants to open a coffee shop, and he just was telling me about it. So we thought that's what you wanted to do. So he was going to actually help you or give you advice or whatever.
Yeah, I was just going to give you advice on starting a coffee company. So it's like
you didn't know I was going to promote you.
No, I didn't know. I literally didn't know that's what it was. It's like I misunderstood what the thing was asking. I thought you were like, because you said something about coffee and cooking.
Yeah, well, we'll get there. Don't ride my horse yet.
Okay, so yeah, but the thing is like, so even with Evan and Matt, Black Rifle, okay, I don't drink their coffee. Obviously, if I have fresh roasted coffee every day, why do I want to buy somebody else's coffee? But when we go out, sometimes I still buy Black Rifle coffee. It's I had it over here somewhere. Actually, I had it over here somewhere. No, it's like I still buy the Black Rifle coffee, and I'll give it to somebody. I'm just supporting another vet in their business. Right. Okay, it's like I'm not trying to be your competition. I'm trying to steal your business. I'm like
even though that other vet is a Ranger.
Yeah, well, yeah, Evan was SF, Matt was a Ranger. I'm not going to get all into. I got a funny story for you with Ranger. Actually, I got plenty of stories for Ranger.
Oh, I have plenty of. So, yeah. How many charities are you guys helping out? Which one is Carla's favorite?
I don't know which one's your favorite.
I've never thought of that, to be honest. I don't want to pick one.
because we actually believe.
Is there one that's nearer to your heart? Is that better?
Well,
it's all right. You're not going to offend it.
Great causes, I guess. Well, I'm a mom, so a child is always gonna grab my heart.
It's fine. You can say
but
it.
I love you, vets, of course.
Yeah. I already knew that was coming.
I hate picking. I just believe in helping.
I love that you were honest and said, "Oh, I'm a mom, so the kids, you know."
Yeah, I don't like seeing kids.
So how many are we helping right now?
We have 4 right now. We have wheelchairs for warriors. That's for first responders and vets, helping get some good wheelchairs. We have the Be an Angel charity, which this was Secret Happiness helps. We just partnered with the PTSD Foundation of America. So we have one that's the roast going to be coming out next week. So that way it helps vets with PTSD and Camp Hope. So that one's probably pretty close to my heart on that one. I already do a lot of stuff with them anyway. And then the other one's the Semper Fi Fund, which used to be for Marines, but now they do all branches and stuff. But it's but yeah, those are the 4 we have right now, and I'm in discussion with one for the children of fallen officers for police officers. So it's talking with them kind of right now to see about getting one for them. Again, for the kids. Yeah, I mean, I know it's for the
officers. Just hearing that. I can't.
So, but yeah, that's.
You're gonna make her mascara run. Stop.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So it's that's one I'm dealing with right now and talking with them to get that kind of set up because especially in this climate, man, police have been made out to be the enemy, and it's not fair that 1% of the ones that are bad make the other 99% bad. Okay, you're making it more difficult, and it's the asinine stupidity of this, and a lot of it's being politicized, and it shouldn't be. But it's I'm not gonna get into the whole George Floyd bullshit, but anyway, it's like
I think you said all you needed to say right there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the thing is that you can disagree with what happened with George Floyd and not have to sit there and agree that George Floyd was a good guy. Okay.
Right.
But it's but by them doing this whole thing of making police officers the enemy, okay, you're defeating the person. Your whole BLM movement about Black Lives Matter, you're costing more Black lives. And there's so much anger and agitation going on, and people are actually shooting police officers more now. That's going to make you a little more, on edge with yours. Okay, it's going to cause more people to get shot. It's just I have a great cure for all of it. It's called fucking compliance. Okay, it's like if you get pulled over, or if you're doing something wrong, if you're not doing anything wrong, you probably won't run in with the cops. I'm just saying. But it's like, don't fight the cop there. Fight it in court. Comply. That would solve so much.
And here's the other part of that. I like that you're working on that angle towards helping the kids of the fallen officers. You think of Eric Talley there from Colorado, that shooting in the grocery store, and he has kids. When you attack a vet, whether it's a personal insult or it's in any kind of rhetoric towards vets or towards law enforcement, you're not just attacking that career field, you're attacking their family.
Mm-hmm.
And you're telling the people in that family, like I have a brother in law enforcement, literally a brother in law enforcement, has been for 20 years. And that's why the issues like this are so important to me. I listen to, the all cops are bastards chants and the F-12 chants. And, I've been to a lot of rallies and a lot of events, and I hear it all. And I'm saying to myself, you're asking me to believe a narrative about this individual because of their chosen career field that they went into, not because it's a giant lucrative money-making scheme, but because most of them genuinely wanted to help people. And now you're telling me I'm supposed to believe that this person isn't just evil on the inside, but they're openly and capriciously evil. And like, I know these people. I know my brother. Like, sometimes he's a moron, you know, and if he watches this and he hears me say that, he'll go, yeah, he said that. Sometimes he's a moron, but he's not evil, and he's a good cop. And that's the preponderance of the people out there that serve in that career field. And it's like the vets, you know, how many times we still hear it, oh, baby killers, as they're coming back from places like Afghanistan and Iraq. And I'm like, what? You know, and they all point to all of the worst case scenario things that every single one of us would disavow as vets.
Yeah.
Like, we disavow my lie, right? Like, we disavow the stuff that we've seen come out of Iraq and some of the videos, but you cannot point it at people, especially the ones here stateside, that are rushing into grocery stores and getting gunned down as they're trying to save lives, and say, oh, all cops are bastards, and now I'm supposed to look at their kids and say, you don't deserve anything because your dad worked in a career field that the general populace hates right now. So where are you at with that one? Do you know if you're going to be getting anywhere?
That one will probably be fairly soon. We're probably about a month out or so on that. It's I've been really focused on because we do a specific roast for every single one. I don't want to do where I'm just putting a label in there and every roast tastes the same. Okay, that's not what I'm doing. It's like I'm making it where it has it's their own specific roast. In fact, I give them their own UPC symbols. So if some business wants to carry them, they can carry them and scan them and so forth and track it. So we're probably about a month out, I would say, on that one. I'm still in the process of finishing up the Semper Fi fund. That one just came about 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
So I've been trying to get that stuff kind of together and stuff. It's just a lot of moving parts, and of course we have to do a lot of paperwork in the back end. And you know, there's a lot more to it than just saying, okay, great, I'll put this blend up. There's a lot of stuff to it. You know,
I can't imagine the easy parts, even trying to come up with a unique roast. Even that's got to be.
Yeah, it's we're very particular about the coffee. Okay, we don't ever want to. There's not a coffee that we sell that we don't personally drink and like. Okay, even our decaf, okay, is actually a mountain water washed organic decaf. Okay, now it's
you lost me a decaf, so
no, I know, but what I'm saying is, it's like I've drank it. Okay, it actually tastes very, very close to an actual cup of coffee. So you're not getting that weird aftertaste and stuff, because most of the decafs have chemicals that they use. So it's a really good coffee. I'm kind of with you. I mean, I'm not going to just drink decaf, but it's there because there are some people who, for medical reasons, can't have caffeine. So I don't want to deprive them of that. But I forgot where I was even going with all this. But
it's just very unique.
Oh no, the blend, the roast. Okay, it's like we're very particular about what we do. And coffee has over 1,500 flavor notes. There's more flavor notes to coffee than there is to wine. Okay, so depending on where and what region a bean comes from, even different regions within Guatemala. Okay, the beans have certain flavor notes to it. Okay, a Guatemalan bean is a little sweeter bean, so you'll get a little more caramel type notes, where a Colombian bean has a little bit more earthier, nuttier tones to it. A Kenyan bean's a little more citrusy. You know what I'm saying? So and then like you have the Nicaraguan, which is a little more florals and has like a little berry follow. So there's different flavor.
Then there's cat poop beans.
There's what was that? Yeah, I know. And like $80 a pound. Yeah, somebody really wants some coffee. That's all I can say. Somebody really wanted some coffee.
I don't even want to know how they discovered that.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody really wanted some coffee. Yeah.
Hey, you know what sounds good today? What? Let's follow these cats around and pick up coffee beans when they poop them out.
Oh, dude. Yeah. It's
What are you smoking?
Yeah.
So you put a lot of time and effort, not just into expanding your brand.
Yeah.
And help, not just helping people, but when you go to help do these charity works, you're putting time and effort even to create something that's exclusively and specifically them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there again, people, this is what being an entrepreneur is about. And and that's the thing I wish I could get people to understand. It's the I know the dreaded conservative word. They give back. Conservatives, by and large, give back more than anybody else ever does. Sometimes to the point where it hurts them. Not hurt, but it's cutting into their bottom line in ways that other people don't understand. It's so easy for people to sit out there and say, oh, we have to increase welfare rolls. We have to increase this. We have to increase that. You're literally not helping people because you're actually able to take from somebody else to help these people that you think need it. Guys like Brandon, people like Carla and Brandon are literally helping people, and they're putting effort into it. And that I wish I could get other people to understand. Like there again, why I have my patriotic or my TC's Patriot business owners, because they're saying something to their communities. And it doesn't matter, like I told you guys about told you about Lillian Sparrow, the custom cutting board company. Like that, he started that on a whim. He needed some income. He made his wife a cutting board with some spare wood that was laying around, and everybody fell in love with it. And now he's making them for all over the country. People are just doing it. And he'll whatever you want, he can make. And he puts time and effort into it. It's a passion for him. I interviewed a gal this winter, young lady, 24, very successful wedding photographer. And at a time, and she launched her business right before our governor shut everything down and said no more weddings, and yet guess what? She's still surviving, and she's got a skyrocketing business. She's phenomenal. And that's what I wish I could get people to understand. It's like they give back, and she probably get embarrassed if I point this out, but she actually is giving a portion of her proceeds, the money that she makes in certain settings, to if I remember correctly, and she'll watch this and correct me. I think it was something for sex traffic kids, people who are being rescued from sex trafficking. Literally, Indie Coffee, West Wedding Co., Lillian Sparrow do more for their communities because it's heartfelt. And that's why stuff like this is so important to me, to get these stories out. Literally, I did not ask Brandon, did I ask you, hey, for $25 a week, I'll promote I didn't say that, did I?
No. Like I said, I literally thought before that you were actually going to be starting a coffee business. I was supposed to be helping you out. This is what I found out. I'd be like the guy trying to sell heroin, and uses his own product. I wouldn't get anywhere. I'd be roasting coffee and drinking it all day long. Like I would be like you, except I would be getting no sleep because I'd be and I'd be waking up the neighborhood screaming at the top of my lungs about how much I love my product. I don't want to keep you guys for too long because I know you're busy and you got a lot of stuff. I know you got a business trip coming up. I will say this: if Brandon, he already told me that we could do this. We're gonna label a coffee for my channel. I don't know what that's gonna look like. I don't know if he needs like a blood sample and like. Don't ask me for a blood sample. We usually take too much.
Because I don't know what Minnesota Black Robe Regiment coffee is going to taste like. If the feedback I get from some people has any influence on the flavor of my coffee, it won't taste very good. So, so we're going to be working on a label for the channel, and it'll be small batch until people finally realize that it's good coffee and it's not just me going to the store and buying like what's a chock full of nuts. Yeah, that's the one. and repackaging it. They're actually, Brandon said he would develop
we'll actually make a roast that'll be specifically yours.
He's going to make a roast specifically for me, and then we'll be able to sell it. I can do it for giveaways. So
however you want. Yeah. So we actually do really well with that, and it's a really good promotional tool for businesses and stuff. But I just I don't want to just like have it where it's yours tastes like everybody else's. I want you to have your own specific one, and then I'll talk to you further on exactly what you want to provide. So
Yeah, like I said, I don't know what that's going to tell, like blood and like by hair samples and like I don't want it to taste like me, that's for sure. So, Brandon, actually, I'm going to start with Carla, and then Brandon, I'll have you finish up. Carla, if you had, in light of everything that's going on in the world, and you talked about coffee being the great uniter, Brandon. Carla, I assume you kind of have the same feeling that coffee is this great uniter. It can really bring people together. What do people say? Let's sit down and have a cup of coffee and talk. In light of everything that's going on in the world, especially here in our country, and the culture and the society of the United States, what one thing would you ask people to do when they run into somebody that they disagree with? Don't say punch them. That's Brandon's line.
No. I'm actually, I guess what I always talk to Brandon about, and this is kind of a hard thing. On my social media, I sometimes avoid just because people get hostile, but.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But everybody's different. Everybody has their own religious views, political views. I mean, everyone's different. So I cannot, to me, this is just me. I don't sit there and argue or insult somebody who thinks differently from me. I just believe in, I'm going to give you an example. Hopefully I don't get anybody mad.
You get emotional. I do it all the time.
For example, this whole COVID thing, whatever, people ask as a personal question. Do you, do this, don't do that. You know what? Make your decision, make your choice, and let others make their choices. And that's it. I don't believe in going and insulting somebody. Just, I believe my way, let me be. You believe your way, go your way. Just, I don't know. I just think it's better to just maintain the peace. That's just
that's fine. That's why.
And it's okay to talk your beliefs, and it's okay if somebody's asking me a question. Well, what do you think about this? Or I don't know. It's okay to be true to what you believe. I just don't believe in going and to someone else's page and you're bad. Like, why am I gonna distress my day because you think differently? I can't change how you think. I'm not gonna change how others think. Even if I think you're right or wrong, you know what? This sounds religious, but pray for them. Pray for yourself to have peace. Pray for yourself.
Wait a minute. Are you sure you're Puerto Rican? Because every Puerto Rican girl I know is very quick to argue.
Well, yeah. I guess motherhood has changed me.
No, I appreciate the honesty of your answer, because I think, we can disagree and we can even debate our disagreement.
And of course, exactly.
It doesn't have to be hostile. Doesn't have to be hostile.
Don't have to be hostile. Yeah, you can debate. If you ask me a question, I tell you what I believe, what I think. You can tell me what you think, but I just don't believe in infringing on someone or forcing someone to believe something that I believe, because you can't. Even I have people in my own family that don't believe certain things I believe, and I can't just sit there and I don't know. I'm gonna keep on arguing.
You're married to a Marine, so the minute you tell him he has to believe something, he's gonna literally believe the opposite just to put you on.
Yeah, and we're both kind of stubborn too, So
no, I would have if he would have told me on the phone the other day that he was married to a Puerto Rican, I would have been like, "She ain't killed you yet, bro."
Yeah, actually, the part that's funny is we actually,
like I said, motherhood changed me.
Yeah, we actually compliment each other really well, because I mean, I'm always right. It's
if you could see the look she just gave.
That's why he said that. Oh, she's a mature one. Yeah. I try to take the high road.
But it's just funny because even her family said it's she needed somebody like me to control her, but I think that it's her too that brings me back to.
There's a balance. He was a little too crazy, and I was a little bit, believe it or not, I'm a shy person. So
I know how crazy Marines can be. I can tell you stories about seeing them hang off the end of the 250-foot Ungawa towers at Fort Benning. I know. And they're like, yeah, we're tough. I'm like, no, that's just stupid, bro.
Yeah. I'm the reasoning in this relationship.
Yeah.
So, Brandon, in light of everything that's happening in our culture today, and I mean, we already can hear. I know you don't have any empathy. I get it, but we can hear it in some of what you say. What piece of advice would you give guys like me or paratrooper vet who are maybe a little bit more outspoken and might find ourselves in rhetorical clashes, how are we going to affect society today in your eyes over a cup of coffee?
Well, the thing is kind of with her, we all need to learn to listen more. Okay, we need to learn to listen more. I kid around all the time, say I'm always right, but you know what though is that there's some things I'm probably not right on. Don't tell anybody I said that, but I'm probably not right on. But I am willing to listen to you. Okay, and now, are you just barking, or are we communicating?
Right.
Okay, that's two different things. I think that the problem that we have today is we've become so divisive and been put into groups that we basically la anytime somebody doesn't believe the same way we do.
Right.
That's why everybody watches their own specific news channel, their own specific this. We've basically everybody's brainwashed. I mean, I'm talking both sides.
Yep. 100% agree.
Yeah, they're all brainwashed because it's like if you just always surround yourself with people who believe the same way you do, then you're never going to expand your persona. You know, it's like you need to have critical thought, and the problem is everybody's shutting down the critical thought now. It's like if you don't believe the way I do, you're wrong. I'm going to shun you. That's the wrong way to do this. Okay, it's like we need to. You know, universities used to be a place where you can go and you can have critical discussions on things and have opposing views, and it's not like that anymore. It's it's completely it's changed the way we do things, and that's because we allowed politics into our education. It's so I would just say that the people need to learn to listen. So it's you got 2 ears, 1 mouth. You know, listen twice as much as you speak, says the person who talks a whole shit ton. So. But it's
spoken like a real Southerner.
Exactly, yeah. But I would just say that don't assume you're right. Listen to what the other side is. We might be able to find some middle ground somewhere on something. But I go back to what I said before too. Get the negative out of your life. Get the negative out of your life. If Twitter becomes a negative sphere for you that always keeps you angry, get off Twitter. Okay. If you have somebody coming around you that's constantly beating you down, like, you know, I don't know why you're doing this, man. This ain't going to go nowhere. You can't do this. What are you doing? Lose them. You have no reason to be listening to that. Okay. I don't need you to fluff my ass. You know what I'm saying? And just you know, talk me up. I go, but I need people that's like, man, you know what? I really think one of my friends, Riz, I've known Riz for a long time. And he's one of the guys I have very few friends. He's one of the guys I call a friend. One time he goes, you know what I admire about you? He called me B. What's that? He goes, all your stuff doesn't always work, but you follow it through to failure. Okay. But you follow it through to failure. So he's always been like a positive influence to where he's like, he supports what you do, no matter what it is, he supports. So those are the people you want to have around you in your sphere. Right. Okay. So
straight shooters.
Yeah. Straight shooter. Yeah. But it's just, like I said,
he doesn't blow smoke, but he doesn't like tell you you're going to fail all the time either.
Yeah. But it's anytime somebody's telling you something won't work, telling you you're going to fail, you can't do that, whatever. They have their own weaknesses. Okay, they're weak-minded people, and they can't believe in themselves. If people can't see your vision, they don't have to see your vision. It's your vision. Right. Okay. All they have to be able to see is that you're really trying to do this, and they need to support you in doing that. Give you the you know, I know you can do this. Okay, you put your mind to it, you can do whatever you want. Okay. My parents were very supportive and stuff when I was growing up, that I could be whatever I put my mind to. That's how I was always reinforced with that. I was never told I could not do something. Oh, you can't do that. You're not really good at that. I couldn't do that. And it actually, it created a mentality in me. And of course, the Marine Corps just on steroids kicked that up. But it's
I was going to say that this started well before you were in the Marines. I know that from talking to you.
Oh yeah, no, it did. And so I was always told that I could be whatever I put my mind to. Now, what the Marine Corps did was put me through such crazy situations and put my body to the extreme. I saw with myself that it's like, I can't fail. You know what I'm saying? Is that I became more mission driven. And it's like, and I know of what people are capable of. You're capable of more than you possibly can imagine. Okay. It's like, everybody is a genius. You just have to figure out what you're a genius at. Okay. Like you'll look at somebody else and go, oh my God, the person's smart. I can't get that. My grandfather, God rest his soul, was an engineer. And we sat down, this is 12, 15 years ago, something like that. And we were having lunch. And we both, he was talking about building this thing for ships to come into the channel, to go up to check for explosives and also that kind of stuff, IEDs. And I said, well, did you think about doing it this way? And I just said something. We both had this like, what? We had this like realization that, oh my God, both of us were smart. But when he talked about engineering, right over the top of my head, right over the top of my head. It's like they see it differently. But when I pointed something out, it's like, he's like, oh my God, I never thought about that. Everybody's a genius at something. What you're a genius at is what you have to figure out. And then don't let anything stand in your way of accomplishing your goal. It's like, I got no room in my life for quitters. I really don't. If you're a quitter, just sit over there, just be the weak gazelle. Okay. I got no room for you. You know?
Yeah. So, it just makes it easier for the predator to get you and I'll just keep moving.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is too. So yeah, but that's I will say there's one last part too on that. Even though we're humans, we're still a species. We're still in the food chain. It's like you do not become better by supporting the weak. Okay, the weak gazelle gets ate. This is the part that I was like, oh God, okay. We need to stop lifting up those who don't want to lift up themselves. I'm not talking about not helping those that truly need help. Okay, I mean, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if you're somebody who's going to be lazy sitting on the side of the road. Okay, in fact, Jamestown. Okay, the starving years. Okay, they didn't want to work. Okay, like 30-something people live. Okay, went to cannibalism. Okay, if you're that person that doesn't want to tend your field, sit over there and die, because we will become a stronger species. We'll become smarter and we'll become better by not supporting your butt. You know, it's like that's what we need to do. We need to achieve to become a better species and people. And you don't get that by going to the lowest common denominator all the time.
Right.
It makes me sound really horrible now that I say that out loud.
No, no, I appreciate it. And we'll kind of close on this.
Yeah.
There's room in every society and every culture, but especially in a republic like ours, to help people who genuinely need help, mm-hmm. and to help them better themselves through that help. But what we have become is we have become a culture and a society of dependency, where so many people walk around with their hands out thinking that it's the role and the responsibility of government to make sure that they're successful. And it's the difference in talk between equity and very wisely stated. I don't see how people can understand that equality doesn't mean that everybody gets the same thing in the end. It means that they all have the ability to work towards an end. Some of us are just going to have to work harder. Mm-hmm. And that's what's missing from our culture today. And I think that's why a business like Indy's Coffee is going to do what it looks like it's doing already. And it's also helping out other people because you guys are willing to work harder if need be to be better than the people around you. And that's culturally sinful today. Like no one should be better than anybody else. Well, if that's how we were really wanted things, we wouldn't be the country. Really appreciate you guys. I appreciate the message, and I really appreciate your willingness to help all these other organizations. It says a lot more about Mr. I don't have any empathy than he would like to
He actually does have a heart.
Yeah, I was. He tries to put on this really tough front, and
you should sit with our son. He is a total sucker.
Yeah, he's like, shut up. But it's
no. I tell you, with my son, yeah, absolutely.
It says a lot more about you, and I'll say this: these conservative, patriotic entrepreneurs do so much more for our culture and our society and our republic than all of the government handouts ever will. So I thank you for your time, and I can't wait to figure out what Minnesota Black Robe Regiment is going to taste like. That is the weirdest thing that has ever come out of my mouth. And I have said a lot of weird things. So thank you for your time.
Absolutely. Anytime.